Good morning. I'm being quiet because I feel I should be today. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And it's 3 days before the summer solstice. It's Strawberry Moon Day. And I must admit, it's very nice to be completely alone. I'm not going to tell you where I am. Suffice to say that I'm somewhere in the South Downs National Park. And there's a reason I'm not going to tell you. That's what this video is about. Now, the reason I'm not going to reveal my location is quite simple. Last year, a few miles away from here, we had a very beautiful, classic South Downs scene, which featured a beautiful poppy field, and it was really well intact. It was one of those ones where you had the rolling fields, some beautiful trees, and in the background you could have the sea just in the distance. The problem was, within 48 hours of it being put up on social media, and named as the location, people had really flocked to that location. They were having picnics in the middle of the field. They were allowing their dogs to run around. You had obviously the Instagram shoots. You have to have an Instagram shoot, of course. But ultimately, the farmer that owned that field saw his crop and the poppies destroyed over a short length of time. I don't think that's okay. And I'm having a bit of a debate at the moment about whether or not I name locations I go to. Honeypots, fair play. Ones that are fairly well known, not necessarily honeypot, fair play. It would be churlish not to. But somewhere like this, where the farmer has the right to have his crops respected, and where I'm being very, very careful myself not to do stuff to destroy anything, I don't think that's okay. I think I need to make a decision not to reveal as much as perhaps I have done in the past. I'm going to start off by hand holding with my beast here so I can try and pick out individual poppies. I'm going to go on a longer focal length so I can crop the background down to focus. And then I'm going to try, while sticking to the tram lines that the farmer's already made here, to pick out backgrounds that might be suitable so I can press those poppies in the front to make them even more lush and brighter and compact than they already are. A really nice place to be here. I'm being very careful with my backgrounds so I don't give away where I am though. I think the fact that this place hasn't actually got sweeping panoramas might be the saving of it. Because if it did have that, you know, with the sun poking over the hills, the dramatic sweeps into the distance, there's no doubt that were I to put a photo up of that, I would get those instant demands that we've all seen. Where? What 3 words location? All of that kind of stuff, where people politely request your exact location so they can take their dog's family, daughter, pet, whatever, and get the shot that they want to have. I thought I'd come back to my office and I would have a look at some of the photos that had the most demands or requests for specific location information. And what I found has been quite interesting. There's been a strong correlation between demands and requests and those peak times of year when we're under pressure for seasonal flowers. And this might be a time when photographers might feel a little bit more under pressure because we go very fast from one flower to another flower to another flower right the way through the season. So you might start off with your wood anemones going into bluebells. A little bit later on there's going to be wild garlic and poppies, and then a little bit after that you're going to have your sunflower season, and many of these will be in different locations. Sometimes you might get an overlap, but many are going to be in different locations, and quite often it's difficult to know where you're going to get a lovely crop from year on year. And because so many people are coming out of a time when we actually don't have that much opportunity to shoot, I think what we're finding is that people are becoming more demanding around those times when colour and beauty emerges, and quite often photographers feel under pressure to perform and to get those results. What I thought I would do now is share with you some of my photos that have had very high level demands as to where a location is. In no situation have I shared that location. Sometimes it's because I've been asked by a landowner or by another photographer who's kindly shared a location with me to not reveal where it is. But other times it may be because I don't want to see an area ruined. Part of my recent reflection has been on whether or not it is right for me to share location information, most specifically on those smaller locations where I've had a real privilege to have shot. But there's a flip side as well. If we are going to ask a photographer for specific location information, perhaps we should do it privately. Then we can engage with that photographer. We can talk about what we liked about their work. They can get some feedback as well. And it's more of a transaction if they choose to share. Now, if they choose not to share their location, that is also okay. It's their prerogative, but we've also had the beauty of their shot to appreciate as well. I think the most important thing that I'd like to request is this. Don't shout. I'm not going to give you a location because you're doing it in capital letters, in bold, and with a lot of exclamation marks afterwards. Sometimes I just say, shh, some things are precious. Thank you for joining me today as I explored some of the ethics of revealing our locations. If you've enjoyed or saw value in what you've seen today, I'd love it if you were able to support me by giving me a like, and if you were really able to support me by subscribing. Take care, and I'll see you next time.